This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 888. I guess that's good luck. I'm Brian Kilby. As a reminder, Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. With me this week, Chris and John are back.
Hi.
Hello.
Wait, John, were you here last week? You weren't here last week, either. Okay.
Yeah, I was out.
Chris was definitely not here.
I don't know if I think of 888 as good luck because it just makes me think of like a 7-segment display that is broken and showing all eights.
Yes.
Or like one that hasn't been set yet, or something like that. It's just
true.
Yeah.
Well, we can do what my dad did with the VCR when it was blinking. He got some black electrical tape and just put it over the display because he wouldn't let me. I said, Dad, I can fix that. I don't care. So he just took some black electrical tape and just put over the display.
These would have been great suggestions before this show started. So that was Don. Diecast is here. Diecast, is very tired.
I'm in Denver.
Even though it's like 6 o'clock there.
Yeah.
He's tired.
How are the omelets?
I don't know. Every morning I grab a muffin and a banana. And
How are the brownies?
Oh, okay.
haven't had any brownies
and there's
either.
Rob. Hey, Rob. How's it going?
Not bad.
Not.
Have you had any good brownies lately, Rob?
No, sadly not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Python Patroller said that this is the toll-free episode of Radio Free Cybertron. Okay. Hey, lots of stuff popped up. I'm going to bounce around in the show notes, though. I do want to talk about like the popular news item in my feed this past weekend, which was, according to a market consultant company, toy retail consultant company, adults are now the largest segment by size of toy purchasers.
Is anyone here surprised?
No. Nope.
No.
Oh, John did raise his hand.
John, are you surprised?
No, I'm pumping my fist in victory because we did it.
Does this mean Hasbro can no longer tell us these toys are for children? No, they're not. They're for us.
So they are for children. They have to be as they're sold as toys in the toy store. They have to be made to safety standards. But
absolutely.
But Hasbro has when they've been asked, they're always sort of cagey about this. Like, I think at most they said, "Well, yeah, the toy collector drives." Look at the toys that they produce. Mm-hmm. They're for adults. They're for middle-aged men, and this comes as no shock to me. I
look at the Transformers line that we all collect, the Transformers Generations, which has been going on for years and years and years. It's still the 1984 and 85 characters primarily.
Yeah, and it's not like people are
clamoring. They're not selling those to kids.
Yeah, kids don't want them.
Kids can't afford them.
Kids can't afford them.
Neither can I just that's
think
beside the point.
Right.
Yeah. I just think that Hasbro probably knew this a lot longer than they were letting on to.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have more data than anybody. And yeah, of course they knew this. That's why they do it.
Sorry. But the thing is, though, I've seen people commenting that that's a sad thing and that it's kind of creepy that by trolls.
They don't deserve,
the thing.
They don't deserve
yeah.
Attention.
Yeah, it's a hobby. I mean, if somebody was, a hiker and hiking took off and suddenly LL Bean was the number one company in the world because everybody was buying hiking gear in that age group, people wouldn't say that. Why are people saying bad things about this? So it's something that brings us happiness. It brings us joy.
No, if it's bad, if they're saying it in a bad way, I mean,
yeah, they are. I've seen the posts.
Yeah,
they are.
That's not really worth addressing. I mean, it is sad, but it's not sad because we're adults and we mess with toys. That's fine. It's sad because this, demographically speaking, economically speaking, all that, this ends with us.
Yeah. So, is one in the chat, WillJack64 says it's not good for the toy industry. True.
Mm-hmm.
I always go back to the thing Aaron Archer said. There was no future.
Yeah.
In making plastic toys that are shipped in from Asia.
Mm-hmm.
3, we live in a slice of time. The toy industry as we know it has existed for 60, 70 years. Kids today, what they want to play with, their tablets. They want to play with electronics.
That's what I think is sad. Like when I hear
I rarely see kids. I rarely see kids in the toy store, the toy aisle, just because we grew up in a time when kids bought toys, when toys were driven by children, and that kids wanted toys. Keep in mind, we grew up, we live in a slice of time when that was the case. Wasn't the case before the toy industry existed. May not be the case in the future. We are biased based on the time in which we live and our experiences. Just because it's adults now, who I think Rob said, it ends with us, it may end with us. Go ahead, Diecast.
Yeah, this is a trend that. Sorry, go ahead, Diecast.
No, I was just gonna say I think this is the way when you started saying about it being sad and stuff. It's kind of sad to me because the kids aren't having the same experiences that we had as kids growing up, and it's still there. I mean, there's still toys in the store, there's still media, there's still all this stuff to support it. It's not, and Brian, like you said, it's not just kids aren't going that way, but when I had a son, when my son was little, I would like to take him through the toy aisle and get him a toy and stuff like that. It felt good to put him on the same path as what I had when I was a kid.
Yeah, and it's just not what drives kids these days. We may want that for them because we had that as kids. I want my kids to have Saturday morning cartoons. Those don't exist either.
This is a trend that's been coming for a long time too. Like the video game industry has been taken away from toy sales for decades now. Like when home video consoles became big, kids spent way more time playing video games than they spent playing with toys, and it's just continued as technology is advanced.
Because people live for a short time, we project on the past and the future what we experienced in our lifetimes, and that's just not the way the world works.
The reason this makes me sad is not for any of those. Well, it's a little bit for some of the things you said, but it's mostly in the direction that when it's acknowledged that the toys are for the adult collectors, which has been no secret for a while, they stop trying to do new things and they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. We lose innovation, novelty. We lose interesting, fresh thought in how it's approached to make the toys. And for me, that contributes a lot to fatigue in collecting when everything is just basically following a cookie cutter pattern with some of the details changed. And it just, in design terms, it becomes that much more of a snake eating its own tail thing. And I look back at 20 years ago, 25 years ago, where think about how Beast Machines was designed. Every toy in that line was basically its own unique thing. It shared some underlying thematic similarities with each other, but every toy was designed differently. Everything was interesting and unique and special. That continued through the Unicron trilogy, and it wasn't really until the movies that we started getting a lot of that samey factor when things started booming with the adult interest in the property big time. It's sad to me now to look back and see how that has eroded away, and the article is just confirming everything we already understood. Kids aren't coming back to toys unless something remarkable happens to prompt that, and I don't see any such thing happening. It's not even just that this could end with us, the toy industry, but just that the toy industry is going to stop being interesting way sooner than that.
Yeah. And it's not that kids don't like toys, it's that they don't prefer toys.
Right.
There are things that they prefer to toys. Like my kids, Daddy, can we stop at a store and buy a Barbie? Not right now, but they say, I want to stop at the store and get a Barbie, but if the choice is getting a Barbie or sitting on their tablet and playing a game, they're probably just going to sit on their butt and play the game. They would rather spend their time and energy on a tablet.
Yeah, I don't think that the toy industry has given up on
Oh, yeah.
kids. I
No,
mean,
no, no, no.
that Cyberverse is for kids. They're still making that
Well,
for kids.
yeah, well, I mean, so Cyberverse, like the stuff.
Cyberverse is over.
Cyberverse is over, but looking at like whatever the main line is, like they'll have a deluxe toy line. The deluxes for those toys are made for us too.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there'll be other toys, but they are lower quality, simpler, and I don't think those really appeal to kids. They're almost like we have to do something for the kids, so let's make this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah. I it's just that hell, we do a podcast about a slice of time. The slice of time just happens to be from '84 till now. Everything is about the time in which you live, and
The fire in which you burn.
The fire in which you burn, and the toy industry is in it. You know, in
Is burning.
it is burning. In historical time, it was very small. It doesn't mean it's not going to last forever. So okay.
Well, that was cheerful.
That was cheerful. That was cheerful, but more reasonable than a lot of the commentary that I heard on this over the weekend. Okay. So Legacy, United, Voyager, Class, Animated. God, these names. Voyager, Class, Transformers, Animated Universe, Decepticon, Motormaster.
The Motormaster.
The Motormaster. It's just Motormaster on the box, though, isn't it?
It's not my fault they got it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to love this. I think this makes a better Motormaster probably than a Prime, but I don't know.
I mean, I do love this. I would like a chance to get the rest of the Stunticons from that set as well. But that's going to be a long time coming, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't...
Because this is, from one of those ridiculously expensive BotCon sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids have just been dying for one of these for years. And the little kids now get this, so I am happy for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love this in principle. I'm all for remakes of old BotCon toys, so it's accessible to anyone who wants it functionally. At the same time, I 100% acknowledge that remade BotCon toys have not been particularly good sellers by any observation. Because like they had the Beast Wars Sandstorm in the one Walmart Legacy Beast subline. They had
Antagony.
I don't know how Antagony is done because that's just
Antagony was just on the clearance sale at Hasbro Pulse.
Okay, well that's that's unfortunate.
Well, sorry, outlet sale.
Yeah.
Oh, and hey, Matt. I
Yes.
saw from our internal chat that I forgot you.
Yeah, I'm used to it at this point.
How's it going this week?
Oh, wonderful.
Wonderful.
It was going great till, one of his closest friends forgot he was even like sitting right here on the Zoom call with him.
Again.
Yeah.
I love you, Matt. I would give you my kidney. Your kidney's probably better than mine, but I would give
You
my
would give him
kidney.
your kidney,
I
but
don't
you
know
won't
about
introduce
that.
him on your podcast.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, okay. So
well, one thing I want to say, Brian, we know DNA Design is doing a the animated Optimus kit for this. I'm just wondering if they could take that kit for this Motormaster and give it some kind of Minosaur flair to it. I'm just wondering if that would be possible.
I don't know. So I'm going to break a cardinal rule. I just want to say, when we talk, we can see each other, and I can see that Don's cat is playing on his arcade cabinet, and it is adorable.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that. Okay. So we also have Generations Comic Edition Autobot Flame and Emirate Xaaron, which popped up after the show, like on Friday last week or Thursday.
Is this off the Megatron mold? It's been
It is
driving
Gamer
me.
Edition Megatron.
Megatron and
Yeah.
Refractor. Xaaron is Refractor and Flame is Megatron.
I kind of love these. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out what mold they were using for Xaaron. It's just like, I know that mold. Why can't I place it? Because I forgot it even existed.
There are so many deluxes that turn into rectangles. It's just it took me a while too, Don. I do think it's funny that there's a Megatron body in this set and it's not Xaaron, just all considered.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't roll out Earthrise Megatron again for that purpose, honestly.
Well, yeah.
Plus, like, Flame being a comics original design too, there's not a ton of existing molds out there that can like match that aesthetic, and they kind of lucked out that they had Gamer Edition Megatron available to use because like it's surprisingly good at hitting that design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all they had to change was like the thighs and the chest and the head.
Sadly, with Flame though, they did make one mistake, which was the way the mold breakdown works. The fists end up the same color as the tank treads, and they made the tank treads gray, which means Flame does not have bright, saturated color fists like in the comic. He just has boring, plain gray fists like anyone else.
You know what I want Flame to have been made out of? The new upgraded leader Springer. So he could be like the twin of Cloud Rodimus. No? Okay.
This will look nice on the shelf with Cloud Rodimus.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, hot rod colored things tend to look good with other hot rod colored things.
Yeah.
Weird how that works. The only problem.
I mean, I hope we get some without the comics, deco stuff on them, which Hasbro should really consider since grown-ups have surpassed preschoolers, the biggest toy.
Oh
Consumer.
no, this makes perfect sense though because old adults are the only ones who even know who these Marvel UK characters are.
Yes,
literally.
Yeah.
So my only complaint with Xaaron is it's very nitpicky. It's just that the vehicle parts that they made for that mold to simulate a functional vehicle have to be moved from one part of the toy to another for transformation. Like you can't leave the treads in one place and they end up where they're at in the stock photos.
And it's really unnecessary because Xaaron
can't transform
have
anyway.
a vehicle mode.
Yeah, he's so old he's incapable of transforming.
Yeah,
Me too.
Xaaron and
So it's fine.
Zmon are buddies at the robots who can't transform meetings.
Yeah. So is anybody excited about this leader class Buzzsaw that we're getting?
I am so happy to be paying $55 for a Buzzsaw. Oof.
I'm not happy about that, but it's good that we're getting the Buzzsaw finally.
Yeah, I had hoped that at least all three of the cassettes would be unique, but no. And I am lucky enough that my Netflix Soundwave has not yellowed.
Oh, that's good.
So I am literally just paying for Buzzsaw.
Wait, that Ravage had teeth?
He bit Bumblebee in the Fire on the Mountain.
Yeah, I just didn't remember the toy having teeth.
I don't have a copy of that handy to check, but probably.
Okay.
I have that sitting on my desk too at home. If I was at home, I would have been able to look.
You had
right
one
away.
job, Diecast.
Yeah.
Also, I will be the one to point out that they say that Rumble is in toy decos, but that is wrong because Rumble's toy was red.
It's Frenzy in toy deco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hence the entire Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue argument.
Did they do that on purpose?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think they're having a little fun with us. Sorry, Don.
No, that's fine. Not my fault. Two things. One, I really wish we had gotten Buzzsaw, Enemy, and what was the other one for Ravage we never got at mass release? Night Prowler, the blue part of the 2-pack.
The white
I
one.
think Night Prowler was a Steel Jaw.
Okay,
I think that's right.
Stripes.
Yeah,
Stripes was
Stripes. Okay, yeah. And why is this not Studio Series 86? Are we getting another Soundwave in Studio Series 86 next year?
Or the year after.
So why would this not be an 86 release?
Because they can still sell this mold.
Because they can still sell this mold, and because Buzzsaw does not appear in the movie.
And they want to they want a Soundwave on the shelf, and they just ran this set in the Decepticon Bridge set.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. With much the same deco too. So they've kept a lot of the extra deco from the bridge set on this, because they had, I guess, the budget to work with putting this at leader price point. I like Toy Colors Frenzy. Like that mold looks really nice, decoed that way.
It does.
So I'm not mad about getting that for my $56 with Buzzsaw either.
I need to check.
But
to see
then
if I
you're
ordered
missing
this.
your. Are we missing a rumble to go with it?
No. So there was not much difference in appearance between Cartoon Frenzy and Toy Rumble. Their colors were very similar. There's not really a need to make a distinct version, but Cartoon Rumble and Toy Frenzy were very distinctly different. Cartoon Rumble was more blue and purple, not blue and black like the toy was, like the Frenzy toy was. Wait, this is confusing.
And I did
Yes.
pre-order this, so
Yeah, so if you want
yeah.
if you want Toy Rumble and Frenzy, you need this Frenzy and Frenzy Red.
So if I have Netflix Soundwave, I've pretty much got this, plus or minus the yellowing.
And you don't have Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw.
Yeah,
okay.
Buzzsaw is kind of the factor here.
Because I never
Buzzsaw's the linchpin of the set.
Yeah, because I never opened my Netflix Soundwave. I was going to, and then we were getting married and moved and stuff. And I thought, okay, I'll put it in a box.
congratulations.
Yeah, I'll do it when we get
2
done
years ago.
moving. Yeah,
I was
it's
there. I'm
still
sorry.
it's still in a box somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, at least you have the matching laser beak to go with this Buzzsaw, though, in that case.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to have a perfect set of these cassettes,
Oh god.
yeah, you need the Studio Series 86 Frenzy Red, or Rumble Red, whatever they called that one, the red cassette. You need Netflix Soundwave, the set with that Ravage and Laserbeak. And you need this Soundwave that has Buzzsaw in it. And you also need, I guess, to have gotten the Siege 2-pack with the other version of the red cassette, whether that was Frenzy or Rumble, I don't even remember anymore, but also importantly, Rat Bat, which has not been available in any other format.
Because if
you want Wing Thing, that's a whole other set.
Yeah, I have that one too.
Because if these cassette figures are on their own sprues and can be run independently, we could well get a set that has Enemy, Sundor.
You'd have to have another Ravage in with Sundor, because as far as we can tell, Ravage and Laserbeak, the Cat and the Condor, are gang molded to each other. That's a whole other from Siege.
Except that they're releasing the Ravage mold with the target Optimus Prime.
Yeah, and
no Laserbeak in sight.
My theory on that is because it's a thing for Target, and Target's probably footing some of the bill for making that, they are more content to just throw away the Laserbeak parts that they didn't want to use. Because that kind of thing does happen in some cases.
Okay.
Can I say that?
No.
Unless the Studio Series 86 Soundwave is something decoed,
which has not been announced yet. It's just something we know that somebody on the team would like to do.
Right? Because it kind of makes.
Has it been leaked yet?
No, I'm just saying
then it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
No.
But it's like when we saw Dead Ironhide and Dead Prowl, and then Brawn came out, and then we knew we were getting Ratchet. We can pretty much safely assume or conjecture that we're going to be getting an 86 Soundwave. I don't want this mold anymore. Unless they do something super deco.
It's a good Soundwave.
It is, but this is the 4th time in 3 years.
Okay, so I would rather see from this getting this mold as a leader again, but in Sound Blaster colors, and then you have with that Sundor, Stripes, and Rat Bat as or Sundor, Stripes, and Enemy if it has to be that cassette mold. But like that's what I would want out of this more than seeing a Studio Series 86 Soundwave with one of the other cassettes that we don't have recent releases for. Like,
there's no shortage of cassettes I would love to get.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, could you use this as 86 Soundwave? Can you use this?
You can do anything you want, Don.
So I believe it might have been Evan who said he'd like to do a Studio Series Soundwave, but it would have to be like redone to scale better with Blaster. Which I mean,
he said that before.
They're not that different, but I
So-
can see there's still some vestigial stuff on Netflix Soundwave from Siege that they'd like to get
So
rid of.
Blaster would have to be like 45% bigger than Soundwave. Is that what we're saying? So he has to shrink it down.
I mean, that's one way to interpret it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it'd be cartoon.
Yeah, no, I don't
So-
remember in the cartoon how like distinct the height difference between the two was. I don't think it would be that much.
Those animation models were all over the place.
Yeah.
But if
They
we
sure
ever,
were.
if they ever do get around to a Studio Series 86 Soundwave, I really hope they do a Ravage with them Studio Series because my God, he needs a new mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every new Ravage they make is somehow worse than the
Worse.
last one.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that trend has started from G1. G1 is still the best Ravage that exists.
We have to break the
somehow.
cycle sometime.
Yeah. Can we just get Studio Series 86 Ravage, like just free of any other encumbrances and just make a... I don't even care if it transforms anymore. Just make a good cat robot.
We're getting Ramhorn in a 3-pack. They can throw a Ravage in somewhere.
Yeah.
We're making Brian's head hurt. Let's move on.
So we have a video from Mark on the transformation of Legacy United Deluxe Class G1 Universe Optimus Prime.
So does anybody want to guess how this toy transforms?
Just like G1 Optimus
With
Prime.
one exception.
Ding.
The of course the fist isn't an accessory.
Mhm.
But it's neat how they do the fists. Instead of it just literally being the fists pop out, it actually rotates, and I'm doing a horrible job of describing this. But
It works basically the same way as like the fists on DevCon, or if you go back a little bit further, Hunt for the Decepticons Terradive.
Yeah.
That mold. The forearms hinge open and you can rotate the hand around to be either the headlights or the fist.
Yeah, it's slightly more involved than you would assume it would be. So it's a little more engineered, which to me worries me a little bit because it makes it more breakable.
It'll probably be fine. This is one of the oldest engineering tricks in modern shape-changing toys.
Okay.
Like in 1992, I'm going to say, Playmates was doing this exact same process with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys.
Yes.
I know
Oh,
because I had all of those.
Yep.
It looks nice. It looks solid. It's not teeny tiny. It's not world's smallest Transformers.
No, but it's not as big as G1 or obviously your Missing Link then, because those are the same size.
Yeah.
But it's a modern deluxe size toy.
Yeah, I'll get
I
it.
wasn't gonna get it, but then I thought about it and I was like, someone's gonna do an upgrade kit and make those smokestacks chrome and stuff like
You
that.
can do
So
that
I was
with a
like,
pen.
yeah, I'll get it.
You could get a chrome pen. And,
I
and do it
I have
yourself.
one. I could totally do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But there will be upgrade kits for him.
There will be
Oh, yeah.
upgrade kits
yeah.
of various types, I'm sure.
Okay. What else? Okay. Transformers One Cog Changers, Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Sentinel Prime.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk. The photos looked better when they were posted on TFW than they were on the original source. I don't know why. Yeah, that's a thing. These are the I don't want to call them the dregs of the main line.
They're made for kids.
Yeah, this is what they make for kids, and for some reason, kids aren't playing with toys as much. I know there are other good reasons for that we have already discussed, but that is my like knee-jerk response to this kind of thing. Frankly,
It's the Transformers One attempt to underestimate how clever kids are and assume that they want to play with crap. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, no, that's not the kids. I want to play with crap. Some of the more complex collector-oriented Transformers make my thumbs hurt.
That's true.
I
I want
agree.
to play. Yeah, I want to play with crap.
Yeah,
One of the most fandom popular things for the people who actually ventured outside of the like generations stuff over the last like 10 years was the I guess starting from like Age of Extinction, there was the one-step changers where the transformation pattern was basically like a butterfly knife. And they
Oh,
did that
yeah.
as a bunch of different characters in successive lines, but like that was consistently one of the most popular things I saw talked about outside of the collector focus lines, because it's just like, yeah, it's such a cool action. Just grab this and flip it over. That big box of promotional stuff for one of the movies that I got had a couple of those one-step changers in there. Not the butterfly knife one, but like the same thing. Like it legitimately is fun to just like flip those one-step changers back and forth. The low-end toys, what a lot of people call low-end toys, like they certainly have a value. They are, easy to just pick up and mess with for a little bit. You don't have to like sit there and exert brain power to remember how all these little pieces interact. You don't have to stress your thumbs, which I 100% relate to that. Like there are just so many collector level toys, I will use in air quotes, um that just they're not fun to mess with. They're just over engineered, and like, yeah, these cog changers don't look like the best expression of this kind of thing, but like there is absolutely a value in toys like this existing,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think stuff like this, though, the economy of toys has really driven the quality
Yeah, I'm
and the
sure.
engineering down. Like, I think back to, like Beast Wars really didn't have, like, Beast Wars itself was the kid line.
There was only one
There
line,
was
yeah.
one line, it was for kids. But,
Yeah.
like, I get.
I missed that.
Yeah, me too. Then, like with the Unicron trilogy, you had the Legend scale stuff, or whatever the scale was called, the Scout. No, what was it? No.
They were the little tiny ones were Legends of
But
Cybertron.
yeah, but they were still pretty nice. Animated,
Definitely.
animated had like one-step changers, and they were
Animated activators.
activators. They were
That's
nice.
pretty nice.
They were nice.
Yeah.
They were
Mhm.
nice toys, something kids could play with,
Mm.
and you wouldn't worry about them breaking necessarily, or they didn't look like they came in a Happy Meal. Just
Well,
get-
and Beast Wars had that too. Though, remember in the first year, the basics
Oh,
were
yeah.
all automatic geared or spring-driven transformations,
but that
and
wasn't a
all ball
subline.
joints, so they wouldn't break. No, it wasn't a subline because we didn't have that principle at that time. But
Yeah.
we absolutely had like the equivalent play
I mean-
pattern within the line we had.
I mean, Rat Trap was Rat Trap.
Yeah.
I mean, Optimus and Megatron, Optimus Primal and Megatron, they were different in the sense they were even completely different designs. I don't know, like ultimately the thought process that was that really just trying to differentiate or what, but yeah.
I feel like
economy's not
at
there.
that, yeah, I feel like at that point in the line there was more of an effort to like not duplicate toys at different scales. That if you had an Optimus Primal in two different size classes, they needed to be very different toys. I don't know when they started doing the very similar versions of the same design at different scales, but I guess it would be Supreme Cheetor, wouldn't it?
Actually, yeah, a little bit. That was probably one of the most notable examples of that early on in Beast Machines, because you had the same thing with Jetstorm at two different size classes. But I think on a larger degree, you had smaller toys, and no, that was not an intentional turn of phrase. But with Cybertron, with the Legends of Cybertron, the small versions of the regular toys and the rest of the line, like I think that was pretty much where that started, and it's continued ever since.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
with animated, you had like a leader's class, Bulkhead, a Voyager, or Mega, whatever it was, and the Activator.
Voyager, yeah.
Yeah, and the Activator. Like the same character, and like, yeah, there were compromises for each size class, but it's not like one was, didn't feel like it was a value for what you got. Okay. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Lorenzo di Bonaventura talks about this is I think it's in Italian. Transformers / GI Joe, and I forgot whoever said it a couple weeks ago. Is probably Chris. He's trying to in the movie they'll focus on 6 characters between GI Joe and Transformers. Like that'll be the focus. Chris Hemsworth is under contract for it, so whether he's Optimus
His role
Prime,
is yet to be defined.
yeah, or somebody else, we'll see. But that's something.
And Lorenzo wants to both have Mirage from Rise of the Beast in there, and also Cobra Commander. Which, I mean, if you're having a G.I. Joe movie, you kind of want to have Cobra Commander in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transformers Compendium Volume One officially announced by Skybound. That's been
Isn't this like the third announcement for this?
Well,
at this point,
yeah, I think it was announced a couple months ago, but it was on Amazon just as an entry for months, and I've had it. I think pre-ordered. I think I could pre-order it for a while, but I'll get that. Those are the comics that I want for the most part.
And the solicitation that TFW quotes does specifically call out Spider-Man as appearing, so this should be the complete run.
Oh crap! I gotta get this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, when IDW did it, they had to blank out Spider-Man and put a page there telling what happened.
Yep.
They blank out Circuit Breaker too.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, they had to.
I have
they
that
just,
book, and I don't remember what issues are in it.
Yeah, I felt righteous anger at that.
The Target exclusive Optimus Prime has been found at retail.
Yeah, actually, a couple of our Discord members, as far as I know, were the first people to report finding it.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
And we have pics of the GoBots on Mark's Instagram. I still want them.
Yep.
Yes, they look fantastic.
Unfortunately, the text of the post kind of lets go that there's apparently no current plans to make a new Bug Bite.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe once that A-level Bumblebee's been around for a little bit longer, they'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
Yes, they said no current plans. That can change.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they make a new Power Glide and need to fill out another box set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump to what we got this week, Matt. I'll start with you because
Wow, you remembered he was here.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Well, you'll be disappointed to know that I didn't get anything then.
Okay. Sad. Chris, I'm hoping you have something.
I mean, it's not going to take long. So it's been looking more and more like Transformers Reactivate has just been canceled rather than infinitely delayed because like they took down like the announcements for it that they had up, and the trailer seems to have disappeared from the internet. So I decided while Pulse was still having their 35% off for premium members sale, whatever they were calling it that week, I figured I'd go ahead and grab the second 2-pack while I could get it cheap, because if the game has been canceled, further releases of the toys for it might tend to dry up a little bit. So I ordered that, and to get over the $75 order minimum, I also threw in Medix. So with the 35% off, the 2-pack was like $40 and Medix was like $16 after the discount. So decent enough prices for both of them. Unfortunately, I have not had any chance to open or mess with either one. So all I can say is the report of, yeah, I got them. Now, Amazon did charge me and ship out my Deluxe Insecticons set. Unfortunately, the arrival of that has been delayed till Friday, so that it's completely useless for me this week.
I was hoping you had those or Tidal Wave.
Yeah, and well, Tidal Wave is going to wait until Pulse gets that in stock, because like I'm excited for Tidal Wave, but not to the tune of paying the extra like $60 or $70 to get it from CMD a month early.
Diecast did, but he's not there to get it.
One job, Diecast.
Okay.
One job.
Did anybody get Tidal Wave in hand this week that I can jump to?
It's on my porch. My porch has it in hand. Can we go to my porch?
We cut now to Diecast's porch.
Okay, so is my kitchen with his porch hanging out?
They're friends.
On the porch?
They're BFFs. They actually like each other. Okay. Diecast, you get anything?
No, but I did want to plug my friend Nick's new store. This is not an ad, but I've been getting my fans toys from Nick for a long time. My first one.
Is this Nick the Toy Guy?
NickTheToyGuy.com.
Nick the Toy Guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nick's good people.
Nick's good people, and he gave us a coupon, or he gave me a coupon code.
Yes.
to share, and it's Diecast 10 off.
Nice.
And I believe it's for new customers, which, it's a web store, so a new web store, so everyone's a new customer, and you get 10 off something. So, he has a lot of Hasbro stuff. He's putting more stuff on the site. And he's a great guy.
Cool.
Super good friend.
Very cool. Okay.
But like I said, not an ad. He did not ask us to do this.
Thank you, Diecast, for clarifying. In pre-show, I made a clear point to Diecast that it's not an ad. So thank you for being a good friend. So Don, did you get anything?
Okay. Nothing on topic. Sorry.
Okay. John.
All of Brian's hopes dashed against the
nobody
rocks.
got Tidal Wave. I wanted somebody to be able to talk about it. John, did you get anything?
Next week.
No, I got nothing on topic.
Rob.
I have one thing on topic. Thanks to Josh, Wheeljack64, who sent me off of my Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/playlist. He sent me a Voyager Armada Starscream.
Oh,
And
that's a good one.
it is. I really like that. It's just really solid all around, and I really kind of find the torso interesting because it seems like there's a couple of different ways to just assemble parts of it, and I'm intrigued and confused by that. So I'm just trying to work that out still, because it's like the fins seem to fold up into the torso, but then everything configures just a little bit differently, and whether or not you have the cannons up dictates how the back pins together, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it also just looks really nice. It is definitely a better representation of Armada Starscream than the Thrilling 30 Deluxe from 10 years ago. Oh wow.
Yeah.
And since by the time I got into Armada, I could only find Thundercracker. This is a really nice thing to have. So, really nice birthday gift. Thank you so much, Josh. I really do appreciate it.
Cool.
And that is the only on topic thing I've got.
Does Sir Gaia
Thundercracker is so pretty.
Yeah. Does Sir Gaia have free shipping going on right now?
Until about 6 this morning, our time, yes.
Oh, so it's over.
As of when this podcast goes out to the internet, yes.
Oh, I'm mentioning for me right now so I can buy something. So just thank you. Hey, a friend of mine also has a new web store they wanted to plug. It's at tfradio.net/bkeBay. Just plugging my stuff because I have like 4 days left of auctions. By the time you get this, it may be over, but I do have some Transformers and stuff up there. Once I move, my goal is to post more stuff, and I'll be honest, I'm going to try to cut very close. I hate this phrase, very close to the bone, because I need to keep my collection very narrow and focused. So I may end up getting rid of stuff that I kind of not super comfortable with getting rid of, but I'm going to die eventually. So I want to have a nice, tight, focused collection. So, but there's a masterpiece stuff up there now in Garbage Pail Kids, so people should check that out. Curated. Brian is curating his collection. John put that in the Discord. I am very much trying to curate my collection.
We all should be.
Yeah.
But easier said than done.
Kim is... Oh, God. So we're moving, and I mentioned this. Kim she said, I am so overwhelmed by the toys that I have staged in the living room to move out. And it was it's like a third of my collection. The rest of it was in the basement. And she said she was very overwhelmed. She was about to have a panic attack. I had so many toys. Yeah. So I've moved stuff to the garage from the basement so that she didn't see it. She knows what I have. She's seen the stuff displayed, but when it's in totes, a few dozen totes, it weirds her out. So
yeah.
Okay. Did I cover everybody? Yeah.
Did you ask John?
No.
Yeah, ask John.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. John. Okay. Ham sandwiches exclusive to Patreon at patreon.com/tfradio. So, let's jump off topic. Diecast. You got some off-topic stuff.
I did get something off topic because while I was in Denver, I went to Walmart, and one of my passions that I don't really talk about too much are the Lego Speed Champion sets.
You've talked about
Oh,
those.
neat.
And they
On
had
occasion.
a new this is some sort of Lamborghini car. But yeah, I mean, they're right around the same price point as a Hasbro Deluxe figure. They're like $25, $26.
I'd rather have that, I think.
And I mean, everyone says Lego is expensive, but I'm really happy with this price point that they're doing. And they come out pretty nice. And I even got a display case that I eventually got to build and put these all in. But
Is
I
the
have
display case also Lego?
no,
Oh,
it's acrylic. It's all acrylic.
Lego should build Lego display cases. I bet they'd make a fortune.
yeah.
Yeah, but I love these Lego Speeds. Everyone knows I'm a car guy, so they're beautiful, and I really can't complain about the price at all for what they are. Lots of stickers, so it gives you plenty of sticker practice. But their stickers are actually really good. They come off the paper well, and they're thick, and they usually don't come off the toy like some of the other stickers do for other products. So
I
How
know.
long
Pretty
is
happy.
it? Oh, sorry, Chris.
No, you can go ahead.
How long has the subline been around, Diecast? Because it reminds me of very much like many, many years ago when Speed Racer came out as a movie. I got the Lego Mach 5, and it reminds me a lot just in terms of size and
Ooh.
construction of how that works. So I was just wondering if they were like intentionally made similarly, if the line was that old, or if that's just because that is how Lego cars.
I'm gonna say I've been getting these cars for at least 10 years.
That sounds
Okay.
right.
How long has Toys R Us been out of business?
Since
6 years.
2018.
Okay,
6
because
years
I
as
remember
of about right now.
Yeah.
I remember buying them at Toys R Us. Is where I first started buying them, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I know these Speed Stars are more meant to be like model kits than a traditional like Lego set where you build something, you take it apart and build something else. But like I've just never been able to get right in my head with the idea of putting stickers onto Lego build. Like it's one of those things, like it just makes the construction so permanent, and it's so like antithetical to how Lego still functions in my head, even though that perspective on Lego is at least 20 years out of date at this point.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like all those Speedstars things I've seen look really cool. And if they were to come up with something that like design of car that was important to me, like I would totally grab one of those. Unfortunately, I think the Volkswagen Bug they did was a different like a collector line and more expensive price point than these.
They did do a VW bus, and that was their larger scale. I think it was
I
like
remember
100 or
seeing
200.
that.
Yeah. So they have done stuff like that, but
Yeah.
the nice thing about these is they're all small.
Right.
They're not big, and they're all officially licensed, which is like, a plus.
Yeah.
But that's all I got,
Cool.
other than whatever my doorstep got that I don't know about.
John, what about you?
I actually didn't get anything off topic. I should have stuff next week, but this was a light week for me.
Okay. I'm going to go to Don last since he has a ton. Chris?
Let's go with no.
Rob?
I got a couple of things. One, I got the accessory set I needed for Shoto Double Cross Kamen Rider Gaim Kachidoki arms, so I have his weapons now. It was kind of funny too because I've been getting spares from Blade Raider on some of the Shoto stuff, and he told me that he had ordered the accessory pack and would give me the parts I needed out of it. I had also ordered the accessory pack. we sometimes when Surigaya gets out of stock with something, they won't tell you if it's part of a larger order, and they'll just ship everything else, especially if it's a small thing like one of these. So we were just kind of sitting around waiting to see who got the set. Answer is both. So they had 2 of them in stock. They now have none. But we've all got the accessories we need, which is good. In that same box, I got Figurized standard Final Form Frieza. I'm really liking the Dragon Ball Figurized kits so far. Frieza, of course, is a good bit smaller than Goku or Perfect Cell, whose legs I need to finish soon. But I'm kind of hoping there's like one particular chapter illustration for Dragon Ball where Goku and Frieza are staring each other down, and Goku absolutely towers over him, and I'm kind of hoping the scale will be right to reproduce that. So
I remember that.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to building that when I'm done with Cell. It's gonna be nice, but I'm trying to think, and other than just random art books in some cases for games I don't even play because they were only $5 each, that's about all I've gotten this week.
Matt?
Nope, nothing.
So you can take a drink. I just bought 2 things off Surigaya. And it actually went through. I went all the way through to the last screen, so I'm charged for it.
And something I probably should have mentioned during the like regular what we got segment when you asked if the free shipping sale was on or not. These days, that usually starts about 10 o'clock Eastern on Friday nights.
Okay,
it's been pretty consistent that way for the last couple of months. So, yeah, if you're looking for anything from Surigaya, that is the best time to start looking.
Cool. And Surigaya takes PayPal, and you can use PayPal Pay in 4 if it's a large purchase, which is awesome. So, Matt, did you say?
I got nothing.
Okay. Don, show is yours. You're muted.
Don, you're muted.
Sorry, I thought I switched my simple mechanical switch over.
You did. You just switched it the wrong way.
Okay. Picked up the second copy of Gundam Build Fighters Try from Surigaya. Now I have both of them. So
is that the soundtrack?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the soundtrack, which is weird. The opening and closing credits is not on the first one.
Because that would be on a single by itself.
Oh, okay, that explains.
That's usually how that works.
Okay, because I was not aware of that. Okay, so that when I was down at Ed McKay's in Mebane with some friends, picked up for cheap Defenders of the Earth Mandrake. I already have him, but I have not seen one of these in forever, and he was dirt cheap compared to what they were in the stores. So now I have a spare in case something happens to mine, and I love Mandrake. He's my favorite Defender of the Earth.
Mandarake the Magician?
Yeah.
Mandarake the Magician.
I was thinking it
too. This was inadvertently tagged on clearance at Target for $8.99. And they went ahead and let me have it when I double checked with them. I got the Origins Princess of Power, She-Ra, but that's about half price. Apparently, someone was just garving stuff, and they just went one figure too far, and I got it for half price. So I wanted to have that in my collection. Today, when I was down in Greensboro, North Carolina, stopped by. I've mentioned Nerd Bombers in the past, and because it's my birthday on Friday, I have some credit there for a birthday gift. So I picked up birthday. Yes. Now one of our listeners got this for me several years ago. I wish I could remember who it was. I'm old. I don't remember things well, but it's the Signature Collection John Wesley Ship Flash from the 1990 CBS series. I now have one I can actually open and put on the shelf. This is my Flash. And I'm really glad to get a second one, so now I can open up one.
Nice.
You got that. Also at Ed McKay's, I picked up Masterverse Zodiac for like
Zodak.
Sorry, Zodak. He was $12, so that was about half price of what they are in the stores.
Relevation Zodiac.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say that. And I also got Spikor. So I'm just filling out with math. That was like. It was $14.95, but
I think I paid less than that at Target.
Yeah, well, they were $13.10, $13.19 on sale, but I had another figure that I found there cheaper, and I took my original one back to Target. So that kind of balanced out there. Also, I picked up from the Mattel Creations store, Vicron, which is a He-Man Masterverse figure. If I remember my lore correctly, when they were looking at doing He-Man originally, he would have been different characters, a robot, a gladiator, things like that. They made a Masterverse character that basically you can switch between all the accessories to become those early concept He-Man characters, and that was half price on the Mattel Creation sale. So I wanted to get one of those. I also picked up from Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon, Super 7 Hachiman. And again, thanks to some Dynamics, I got them for about 27.
What is that?
Hachiman.
From
Thundercats.
Sorry,
Super 7 Thundercats.
I watched Thundercats as a kid. I don't remember.
What is that from season 3?
Yeah, he's the one whose sword was as powerful as the Sword of Omens. So I got him for basically about half price thanks to some Dynamics. And the last thing I got, I'm going to have to reach down, Brian, and I apologize, but this is the big thing. No, this is not the last thing. I'm sorry.
This is the patron section. I'll forgive it.
I know. I mentioned last week that
they know what they're paying for.
Yeah.
I mentioned last week that I had ordered from Whatnot, Cobra, Alley Viper, and got Destro. Well, somehow in the communication with the seller, he went ahead and sent me the Alley Viper after I got the refund for the Destro.
Oh, nice.
So I've got Alley Viper and Destro for free, pretty much is what it boiled down to. The price on Walmart.com dropped.
Did you let him know about the mistake?
Not yet.
He did now.
Yeah.
If the seller's a patron, he just found out.
Yeah.
You didn't write him a polite letter?
Not yet, no. The price dropped by about $8 on Walmart.com, and I picked up a Crimson Alley Viper for just a few dollars above retail, and these things are very hard to find. So I'm finally good on that.
I don't think I have that.
I also, thanks to the Hasbro Pulse sale, these came back in stock, so I got a second set of Valkyries to sort of have like I figured I'll put my Baroness with them and kind of have like a little subgroup within Cobra. I thought that, and they were on clearance with that big sale. And also to meet the threshold, I got one more Trouble Bubble. So I'm finally caught up on all that, and I just need to find some flight stands for the Trouble Bubble as well. The last thing I got is this. Power Dagwan from Sentinel, from Brave Command Dagwan. This is the companion piece to the Fighter Dagwan that I got a couple of weeks ago. Now we have a modern representation of Super Fire Dagwan, which is my favorite Brave robot. The only other robot that comes close to this is probably Tryon 3 as far as a super robot. So really looking forward. Haven't had a chance to open them yet. They're a little more complex. I'm gonna take some time with this, but I'm really looking forward to getting in and opening this figure up. And that's what I got off topic.
Well, congratulations, Don. That's awesome.
Well, they were sold out everywhere except for Showz store, and Showz was about 85 or 90 cheaper than what they would have been anywhere else if they had been in stock. So
nice.
I got really lucky on that.
I'll say,
hey Don, when you get that out of box and everything and combined and everything, put that on Twitter. Take a photo of it.
I will, because Dagwan is my favorite Brave series, even more than Galgaigar, and that is my favorite Brave robot of all of them. So definitely, I'll be posting some pictures. I just need that time to sit down and do it properly because it's kind of complex.
So I will
maybe next Wednesday. Oh, never mind.
I got one thing. I completely forgot about it. So I mentioned I had a 1977 calendar because it was good a couple of years ago, a 78 calendar. I think 79 is the year now. It breaks the pattern because this year is a leap year. So for my desk for next year, I have a 1986 Star Trek calendar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it features everybody.
Interesting.
Yeah, it features everybody in their lovely movie uniforms.
Yeah.
So I'm very, and of course, since it's 86, there ain't none of that next generation stuff.
Yeah,
that
no,
kids
I
are
was thinking
into.
that's like that's a really cool snapshot in time, just because like immediately preceding Next Generation being a thing.
Yeah.
Like I assume that 87 Star Trek calendar would be Next Generation themed.
Yeah. So
Maybe the 88 one.
I'm
Next Gen
assuming
probably was too late in 87.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just photos from the movies. But
Mhm.
like Matt last year got me that Star Trek desk calendar. It's the page a day, and I love it. Except when I turn on it, peel off, and the day underneath is a Kelvin timeline day, then I'm like extremely disappointed. But
I'm sorry, I didn't know those were in there. I would have got you something else.
no, I love it. I love it. But there's going to be no disappointments. But I'm stuck with each picture for a month, so like I can't wait for like the Sulu month or the Chekhov month. So, yeah. Okay. I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of the show get an ad-free version of Radio Free Cybertron each week. No pre-roll, none of that stuff. It's at a higher bit rate, a day early. If we have some major edit, there's an unedited version, and that goes out to patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. There's also an exclusive pre-show podcast. So the pre-show that we do on YouTube, that we package that up as a podcast that goes out there. Also, you get There Goes My Money a week early.
We'll get caught up on that soon, hopefully.
Okay, cool. Didn't realize it was late. You get it a week early, and patrons at the touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And touch tier patrons also get to be mentioned on the show each week and thanked at tfradio.net/credits, which I'll do now. Thank you to Kevin Dorsey, Jacob and Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Rick Mahurin, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, and Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews. Thank you all so much. You rock. And if you want to be mentioned there, go to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up.
Sean's asking if there's tote bags.
Not yet. I love that joke.
Oh, yeah. Please don't say yet when you say no to the tote bags, because you're just undermining me by entertaining even the possibility that there's tote bags.
One of my favorite things, like at TFCon, is the captured prey tote bags. Like, so I'm not saying we're doing it, but I'm saying everybody can always use another tote bag. And in the future, I'm not saying it would happen, there's going to happen, but like, I got to do the cards first. But I could use an RFC tote bag.
RFC Con.
Yeah, you know what, Brian?
We're
What
not
you
doing
need to do is get some very small tote bags, like about little bags about this size, and get a picture of Micromaster tote on the side, so it's a tote bag.
That's pretty sweet, Don. That's really good.
I think it would get us sued, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, there's
legally distinct.
Yeah. Also, if I understand not everybody likes Patreon, not everybody wants to do it, but everybody needs toilet paper, or toothpaste, or something. My prescription for my omeprazole, like, it expired, and my doctor retired, so it's hard for me to. I'm trying to reconnect with my new doctor to get it. So it's over the counter. I can just get it over the counter. I got it from Amazon. Ordered it last night. Had it this morning. So
Omeprazole is such a beautiful thing.
It is. It really is.
I try not to take it like all the time because of the potential side effects. I use famotidine more often because its potential side effects are less scary than omeprazole. But if you've been under a doctor's care and they've prescribed or recommended full-time omeprazole, like, that's probably fine.
But, yeah,
That's
Amazon had it. So it's awesome.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely over the counter.
tfradio.net/Amazon. Okay. You can find all of our crap at tfradio.net. You can find all of my crap at briankilby.com. Matt, how do people find your crap?
On the rare occasions that I post any crap, it's at melvar.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Excellent. Diecast, your crap is at?
My crap is actually on eBay at Diecast 17. A couple people who actually listen to the show picked up the Lego Optimus Prime head upgrade that I have. So thank you guys
Nice.
for whoever picked that up. And I'm shipping that as soon as I get home. But you can also reach me on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast or on Blue Sky and Twitter at Diecast2. And you can see my reviews at youtube.com/RFC reviews.
Cool. Let me know if you want a tfradio.net short link like I have for tfradio.net/BK eBay. I can do that.
Nice.
Yeah. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list. If anyone would care to look at the things that I have on there for my upcoming birthday, where I'll be 54 and I'll be turning probably to dust soon
Where
afterwards.
are you?
TF
One more
Radio.
year and you can join AARP.
I've been getting those. I've been getting mailings from them since I was
those.
in my late 40s.
I get those.
I thought they were dressed in my dad, but they're not. tfradio.net/Don list.
John.
That John D everywhere.
Everywhere. Rob.
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. That's connected to my YouTube channel Flail Throughs, where I am still covering Gundam Battle Operation 2. Should be the week's update every Thursday morning, and beyond that, just waiting for Gundam Breaker 4 to show up in August. Really looking forward to that. If you like what I do over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can make specific requests via that and just generally support me. And if you'd like to send me something for my birthday, which is on Sunday the 23rd, tfradio.net/playlist, and hopefully it will not melt on the porch in the ridiculous heat we're supposed to be having here.
Oh, holy crap. That is sooner than I thought. Don, when was yours again?
I'm sorry, Brian. What was that?
When's your
was
birthday
what?
Again?
Friday, 21st.
Happy birthday, guys. My
Thank you.
friend Mike's is also this week. So.
Yep.
I
think it's the summer solstice this year. I'll have to double check the calendar, but
it's tomorrow. It's Thursday.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Chris.
I'm on Blue Sky, Chris RTXV. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList. I appreciate anything that gets sent from there, but since it is 2 of my friends' birthdays coming up this weekend, go do something nice for them instead.
Very cool. Okay. We will see you all next week. Have a good one.
Take care, all.
Don definitely needs some more Core Class Cheetos.
Hey, before Core
Recording
Class goes
stopped.
away forever.
Yeah, get them while they're hot.
Yeah.
So, did Cheetor kill Core Class just like Supreme Cheetor killed Supreme? Was there anything Supreme after Cheetor?
No, the $12 price point killed core class.
Yeah.
Starscream, was that Core? Was that Supreme? What was that class called?
I think they were still Supremes then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Unicron and Starscream both came after Cheetor.
Okay.
Was Unicron Supreme class?
Yeah.
I'm assuming since it was,
I've got
one of the $50 ones.
4 of them boxed, and you would think I would notice that it says Supreme on it.
You'd think.
I feel.
I don't know. I don't know if they. I don't think they had the word Supreme on them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know that they generally put the class names on boxes at that point, did they?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Mega was on Beast Wars.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that when
Yeah,
for
but that's
Armada,
Beast Wars, nobody cares.
Yeah, Supercon, Supercon or Deluxe, depending on what solicitations you're looking at.
Unicron trilogies, right? Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, the names changed a little bit every year for Unicron trilogy, as I recall.
Yeah, it was either Energon or Cybertron, where every package had its price point labeled on it. I just forget which of the two it was.
Yeah.
But for the most part, prior to that, it was just understanding the solicitations. Sometimes the shelf tags would also have the information on there. And we would, get it that way.
Mm-hmm. Hey, people watching live, guess what? I'm killing the stream.
You're not watching live for much longer.
by Twitch.
Hey, people watching live.
And the
There he is.
Insecticons were shipping from Amazon.
yes.
I wonder if I got.
Yeah, I'm glad you said something. I checked my email. I'll have them Friday as well.